Welcome to Your OC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony fandom. This show is unscripted and unfiltered, so moderate language will be used. As well, this show can be a little heavy on the critique at times. That being said, if you are easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 39 for November 28th, 2014. This week, we are looking at some ponies that are the apple pies of our eyes. Some of these ponies are straight turkey, but some of these ponies are so good that everything else will be just gravy. So stick around and let's mash this week's episode. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I am the host and show manager. I am joined by
Commander Sparkle, Assistant Project Manager.
I'm Eddie Bobo. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing, and I'm the editor.
This is going to be our Thanksgiving episode, so that means pretty much
autumn.
Autumn, yeah, for those out-of-towners that we have.
Or because
us,
it's really autumn because we got like one or two Thanksgiving OCs.
Autumn colors.
Yeah. So, it's going to be kind of autumn, Thanksgiving, whatever. Anyway, it's a feely themed episode, like before. So, hang out, let's do this episode. So, fan art this week.
Well, what fan art?
No, don't be like that. We love the fan art.
We got literally 5 things.
Yeah, we love our fan art. Too bad
this
we
was
didn't
like
get any.
I'm not sure how I feel. I think I'm just like shocked, if anything, honestly, because like we got like a page and a half last week, and then like we have 5 pieces, and 3 of them are only mummified. So I guess you're the most popular of us at this time.
Feels good to be special.
Just because you're so cute.
I'm not cute. I am not. I do not admit that I am cute, nor do I have this as my icon right now.
Yeah.
I did get a piece of fan art this week. I forgot to add it to the folder.
Oh my god, you fucking Maddie. Come on.
Maddie.
You jerk.
Since we don't have very much, I guess I'll talk about mine. The one piece I got that was for me.
Now, Commander, please tell me you get the reference.
I mean,
This picture is referencing something.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, once you tell me, I'm probably gonna be like, oh, but I don't know.
Well, they called you Commando, Sparkle. Arnold Schwarzenegger starred in a movie called Commando. And in that movie, he sported a vest and a rocket launcher of the same variety and wore the same type of camouflage.
So I'm Arnold. Yeah.
You are Arnold. Like I was a Bobo last year.
That is all the fan art we got this week. And we love every single one of them, despite the times where we have tons of fan art and the times that we don't have as much fan art. Roll.
Kill.
It rolled a 2 this week. So that means we get to see Commander's OC first. Commander, tell us all about your OC this week.
Well, my OC this week is Cleary Dawn by Lonely Frostflower. As you can sort of tell, there's no like Thanksgiving theme with this, but that is a definite autumn color palette, like burnt oranges and stuff like that. It instantly makes me think of like autumn, at least me, because the color changing leaves and like that. That's like like multiple of the like colors that I most associate that with. But anyways,
odd how those colors are also toward the sunset.
Yes. It's very interesting. Which is, this pony actually does have more to do with the sun, as you may have guessed from looking at the name and the like Cutie Mark and stuff. But anyways, on to the actual pony. So Cleary Dawn is a pony that pretty early on got very interested and fascinated with the sun, and it made it like a promise to herself that she would clear the sky pretty much every day, just before dawn, to see the sunrise as clearly as possible every single day. And it eventually turned her, it like gave her like an intense fascination with the sun, and like by proxy she actually got very invested in learning about Celestia and like all of her history and stuff like that. She is She's very loyal to the Princess of the Sun, just like most of the ponies in Equestria, but has slightly different reasons, more to do with her absolute fascination with the sun. But, that's all they currently have. But I think it's a good starting point, because it gives them enough of a thing to build a character around, and has some quirks, which I can imagine some of those things could definitely be led to some of the faults that make a character really well rounded, and how she's could almost be at times a bit obsessive over that. I can just imagine her just knowing being Twilight Sparkle in her knowledge of the history of Celestia and all that stuff. I think that'd be quirky and really funny and cute. Speaking of cute, I think she's pretty goddamn cute.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
This person has sent in a lot of OCs to us, and all of them, or at least a high majority of them, are incredibly cute.
This is one.
This is one of the high majority that is incredibly cute.
Yes. It's just so cute. Look at that face. Just that little smile. Oh, cute. But
also the color palette's really good.
Yeah, I really like the color palette. The only one that throws me for a little bit of a loop is the that darker purple in the main. It's not bad. It just
I'm actually going to contest that right away. The purple seems to fit more than the red does. However, if you take away the red, the purple fits less. Because the purple requires the red to be there to make sense. However, the purple seems to fit in more than the red does. So they are mutually beneficial and mutually dependent on each other to stay correct in this color palette. You can't remove one of them without taking away from.
I can see that for sure. It's just because it really pops. That was one of the first things I noticed about this character, was that giant streak of purple in the mane and tail.
Oh, definitely.
Which could be considered a good thing, because you want something to make the character stand out. I'm not by no means saying that it is awful or should be changed by default or anything like that. It was just something that I'm not 100. I don't like it. It's not perfect. I'm not sure how to if you need to tweak it, if you should tweak it, how you would tweak it, but it's just not perfect.
Though I did say I really like the color palette, it does seem like there are too many colors, because
tricolor mane.
Yeah, oddly enough, I might actually suggest getting rid of the tannish color in the mane. Because the purple and the red need each other so badly, I kind of want to see what the mane would look like if you reshaped it to be 2 colors instead of 3. Colors would have to be switched around and moved and stuff like that, but I want to see how it would be without the tan in the mane. Because
definitely do something interesting.
Because obviously she already has her sunset or sunrise vibe to her.
Oh yeah.
But she already has yellow in her eyes, as well as a somewhat close to tan-ish color as her coat itself. Obviously they're quite far in both ends away from it, but they're close enough that I would say it might count as it anyway. So I just want to kind of know what it would look like. Other than that, I have no clue how the hell to fix it, or if it should be really fixed. It bugs me a little bit, but also really like the fact that of recycling color of eye and Cutie Mark. Though there is a light gradient thing, or not gradient really, it's a very light in-between from the yellow and the white, and it's really hard to see. I suggest getting rid of that. It creates effect, but it's generally not very well received in MLP style Cutie Marks.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. I like the Cutie Mark though. I mean, because I figure like I'm trying to figure out exactly how I feel, because black and white, I'm still not a huge fan of in Cutie Marks, but it's one of the few places that I'm okay. I'm much more okay with it, and I feel that it's done pretty well here. Get the black being sort of like a casted shadow, and the white being just a general like way of showing light.
Now, I'm gonna be the pricky Cutie Mark guy. I'm not a fan like of the pure black, because what is the black supposed to represent again?
A shadow overcasting, I suppose.
That's what I'm guessing.
Well, if it's a shadow overcasting, why is there a shadow overcasting from the sun?
Because obviously there's something on the ground that's casting it?
Symbolism, Medi.
I think I'm going to go with Medi on this one. It seems odd.
Yeah, I would agree that it seems a bit odd. I think it's more meant as the symbolism, but...
And also, like, it's a little bit over-detailed.
It's 3 colors.
It's
4
colors.
with the black.
Oh, it's 4 colors, actually. 5.
Yeah. No.
Black.
Oh my
dark
goodness.
Yellow,
Wait,
yellow,
wait,
light
no.
Yellow, white.
Guys, look between the yellow, the giant yellow, and the black. There's a little bit there that's technically part of the Cutie Mark.
I think that's... Is that part of the Cutie Mark, or is that a
part
strip of the actual...
No, look at it.
Oh,
it's
no, you're
different from
right.
the coat.
Oh,
Good
God,
call,
it's so hard to
Maddie.
tell.
Okay, that I think I would actually rule as... No, that's supposed to be a strip. Maybe they just put that over it and then just didn't edit it later. They forgot about it.
Maybe, yeah, definitely.
That feels like it's supposed to be a gap. That's not supposed to be.
I don't know.
But they're so off, and it looks like it was put... Like, it honestly looks like there's a pony layer, and then there's the Cutie Mark layer.
Yeah, and they probably did that in the Cutie Mark layer.
Just
and
erase it then.
Because...
Regardless of what their intentions could have been, the point is that we noticed it, and we are pointing out what we think. We don't need to explicitly try to justify.
Anyway, I think it's an okay Cutie Mark. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's Clary Dawn. It's a sun Cutie Mark.
It seems a bit over the top, but not like by a metric hell ton or anything like that.
I think that the Cutie Mark needs a little bit of tweaking. I think adding more about her and her obsession with the sun would be a nice, cool thing to make the character like very quirky and stand out. And then I love that like burnt orange coat color a lot. Keep that. Don't touch that. Oh yeah.
By the way, all of the colors chosen here are really good. I just wish they mixed a bit better.
Well, all right then. We're going to have to move on to the next one. And I just rolled a 4, so that means we're going to go on to Smooth.
This is Sugar Rush. She's supposedly a little bit younger than Rainbow Dash. However old that is, we don't know, but that's a good way. That's probably a good way of doing things, because we just don't know the actual numbers. So a little younger than blank is the most safe.
Relative age!
Yay! Female. Her Cutie Mark is Candy Corn. She lives in Manhattan, and she herself is a candy maker. She spends all year long working on candies to get ready for Halloween. Because she's not a Thanksgiving pony, she's a Halloween pony.
A little late to the show, aren't you?
Yeah, we could have used this one like a little bit ago.
You works all year round to make the candies, and once Nightmare Night, not Halloween, sorry. Once Nightmare Night finally rolls around, she's like, finally! All of this perfection! I've tested these candies throughout the entirety of the year, and now, these ones are the perfect ones to give to kids for whatever exact reason, I suppose. I wonder what I wonder what criteria she would grade them on, like tastes best, healthiest, like easiest to make, and other.
Sweetness.
Her right eye is gone due to a flying accident that happened. Also, those are leg warmers on legs.
Yes.
Not her color palette or anything. Yes.
You know, normally you wouldn't have to distinguish that, but with some of the OCs we've seen on this show,
they have that tendency to be a little, yeah.
And that's pretty much it. When, after Nightmare Night's over, she just kind of disappears into her home and awaits next year. That's pretty much it.
It's like, next year, kiddies.
That was the most terrifying Halloween yet.
So, what think of backstory and a little bit of
I like
personality?
I like the concept. I mean, the show has shown ponies who are candy makers or sweet confectionery delights individuals, but the fact that this pony's entire this is what I live for is like based around just one day alone really makes her stand out and be different. I like the idea that it has, or she has, it's a fun pony. I mean, from a practical standpoint, I don't see this pony working in like an everyday sort of thing, but a kid's story in the universe, if this was like a frame story that was wrapped around in like a children's book or something like that, and said that, every year Sugar Rush would come to the town or something like that, that is how it more feels like to me.
To make it more realistic in a way of actually making the character a bit more believable and stuff like that, because people argue semantics like we do all the time.
No, that's impossible.
Most likely case, you would have, or she would have some ponies testing the candies throughout the year, and she'd sell off a lot of the products so she could keep her business afloat. Or I guess it would become a business kind of thing.
It's a business, man.
She better be making bank on Nightmare Night if she's not doing stuff throughout the year.
No, that would be the night where she gives everything out for free. If anything, she loses the most on Nightmare Night. However, or monetarily she loses the most. However, in just pure happiness she can see in everyone's eyes because of all those perfect candies she made.
Yeah, that's definitely
that gets it.
That'd be reason enough for me.
The only things that I really don't like was obviously the fact that unrealistic. Come on, just add this thing in. But whatever. That's just me being dumb. But the only thing I don't like really is the black in her mane, because it's black.
Is it actually pure black, or is it just really close?
Either way, it's too close to tell, and colors.
Yeah, I'm asking the question.
Yeah. I do like the other colors. They all seem to work really well. It's just that black. I'm just like, but.
I'm going to pull a Medi really quick and say that for the Cutie Mark, I like the Cutie Mark because candy corn is like that is the Halloween candy that I think of the most when I think of Halloween candy, specifically for Halloween, because you don't see it that much any time of the year other than that. I like that.
Definitely.
I just think that having it, you should just have it as just the candy corns, just with those colors and without a black outline, or at least see how that looks. Some parts might be hard to distinguish for some people with the coat, but I'm not sure.
I'd say definitely round them out more, because candy corn isn't pointy, because that'd be weird.
I think it's a well done pony. I just really like it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I really
it's
like
good stuff.
Her. Yeah, I like this character. She's really cute, and Though I do not like Halloween at all in the slightest, I can still appreciate this pony more for candy making than Halloween.
Well then. Moving on. We have to roll the die of fate again. So that rolled a 3, actually. So that means we get to move on to Medi.
Okay.
Let's get into this one.
Well, you see, Mummified, today I brought in not a pony, but a deer. This is Clutterbelle. She is a deer. Not a deer pony, but a deer. I don't know why she has a cutie mark if she's not a pony. Maybe that's how Equestria works in this universe. I don't know. But Clutterbelle is a little klutzy deer who has a stuttering issue, and she also has a tendency to a tendency to shake a lot. She's not very good with people. Or ponies, excuse me. She grew up, and she had to learn how to confront these issues, and her parents weren't too helpful either. They just kind of told her to just get over the stutter and shaking.
Yeah, seriously, that'll work.
Mm. And once she reached the age of reason, she kind of just left. She just kind of got fed up and just, fuck it, I'm done, goodbye. And she pursued a field of medicine. It doesn't say the pony's name, but she helped a collapsed pony in the woods, nursed him back to health, and when he finally was back into full health, she got her cutie mark.
Okay.
And now she's pursuing a job as a nurse. She's about pony size, fears small cramped spaces, is trusting to a fault, so it can usually, if you understand what that means. For those people who don't, it means you trust people too much, to the point it can be a bad thing. And she's hard-headed when it comes to being determined about whatever task she sets herself to.
I like the idea of more deer pony.
Not a deer pony, a deer.
Deer OCs. OCs that are dear to my heart. I find that they definitely shake the game up a little bit, but yet still keep the ideas and concepts from the show true, I guess. It's something fun that, people can change and get behind, or, I don't know, mix things up. I think the Cutie Mark stands out from the actual coat a little bit too much. I don't know, the Cutie Mark just looks like it was slapped on it. It looks like it was just slapped on there.
It might, yeah, kind of, maybe a little bit.
I feel like that is, though, in part due to the fact that it's a deer, and we're not used to seeing deers with cutie marks. And I feel that a lot of people, when they have a deer OC, they're like, I don't think a deer OC would have a cutie mark. That's seems to be pretty common. So I feel like that is part of it, at least.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, also, she's really cute.
Yeah.
I don't have any qualms with the color palette. Besides the gradient on the back, but I'd just have it probably be the flat color that's on the bridge of the nose kind of thing for the face, even though there is no bridge of the nose on a pony. Shush.
It's okay.
I'd just use that flat color instead of using the gradient, but that's the only thing I really have to say on that.
I really like the eye color, because with that generally brown-gray color palette, having that, nice blue eye color, it doesn't, pop super hard, but it's just perfect in, making it so that you really notice that it's different. And I really like it in the, totally front-facing one. Her eyes are just she's like, yeah. I would like to say, I really like the way that they did the anatomy of the deer, because I've seen a few different artists do it different ways, and I like that it's generally the same kind of pony anatomy, but the limbs are much thinner, and obviously the tail, but that's just a standard deer thing. But I think specifically the legs, they really bring it home that, hey, this is a deer. It has thinner legs, and the fetlocks with having those cloven hooves. I think they did a good job on portraying the deer as a deer.
Well, your deer OC is really cute. I like the hooves. Hooves are adorable. Eye color, like Commander said, is really nice. Very autumny, very deery. Also, her tail's adorable.
That's a deer tail.
I like it. Besides all that stuff, good OC. Like it. Moving on.
Besides all the good.
Okay. Well, thank you for that one there, Medi. I do not need to roll the die because I know that I, once again, have to go last. Unfortunately. The pony that I have brought into this week's party, I have brought the pony that goes by the name of Sheer Cliff. Or Cliff, sorry. Cliff. Why did I say Clift? Clift isn't even a word. Sheer Cliff. Anyway. She is a earth pony. Yeah, wait a minute.
What?
She has wings. And, fangs. And the, bat, she looks like a bat. Well, let me weave you a tale here, folks.
Okay.
The main reason I brought this pony onto this particular episode was because of its rich, engaging story. Not really engaging, but it was a good story. Sheer Cliff, Cliff, I don't know why, anyway. Sheer Cliff is a cliff climber, earth pony. She lives in Appaloosa, and after the events of Over the Barrel, she decides she's going to branch out and visit other towns. Now, Sheer Cliff is not necessarily a professional cliff climber, and she has one nagging fear, and that's of caves. And she doesn't like going in caves. She doesn't like being around caves. She also hates bats. Bats are like the one thing that she's like absolutely scared of. So the bit of irony will come down her way as she goes climbing up this one cliff in the Everfree Forest outside of Ponyville. While climbing, she actually dislodged a large boulder, revealing a cave, and woke up all the bats on the inside. They come storming out. She falls off the cliff and into a bed of poison joke. The poison joke actually ends up breaking her fall, so that way she doesn't, die. So, having suffered this loss, so to speak, or having to deal with her fear and falling off a cliff and whatnot, she goes back home. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. She just wants to sleep it off, kind of thing. So, in the middle of the night, as we all know from Judge Book by its cover episode, the effects of poison joke slowly work their way into her sleep while she's sleeping, and surprise, surprise! The next morning she wakes up as the thing she fears most. She turned into a bat pony. Her family, I can't remember. They were farmers or something. Either way, they couldn't find a fix or a cure for her, and eventually, she went back. Some time passed, and she actually ran away from home because they thought she was somebody else and couldn't help her or something like that. She ended up running back into the same cave where she fell off the cliff and started living, or sort of like exposed herself to the cave and the bats inside of it. And as they were like storming out of the cave again, she just slowly watched them and kind of gave up her fear and slowly became like the bat pony and accepted it. So yeah, and since she still doesn't know how to cure poison joke, or I assume that she just doesn't care anymore, she actually isn't able to go back home for some odd reason. She can't just be like, oh guys, this is me, or something along those lines. But it's a really interesting story about how, because normally when we've seen poison joke, it's like, okay, well, they don't do that. But it's an interesting take on it. It's not so much poison joke as poison irony.
But that's what poison joke is.
No, poison joke is like...
No, Poison Joke makes your life incredibly ironic and makes you unable to do the things you really like the most, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It boils down to your life is made of irony right now.
Hmm.
That's why I kind of like this one, because freaking absolutely terrified of bats. And it was kind of bats that made her fall off the cliff in the first place anyway.
Exactly. So it's one of these things that now that she has wings, she loves flying. Like, she can't get enough of it. But she does become a little selfish with her new power. Making the choice that even if she can never be with her siblings again, she would never give up being a bat due to her Cutie Mark. She believes it's her true calling. And it's like, okay, well, that explains the Cutie Mark.
True calling is in irony. Ew. Not sure how I feel about that.
Well, now she likes bats, and now she can, like, live with them, so to speak.
So then, if the Poison Joke ever affected her again, would it actually still make her...
Or if she fell in Poison Joke again?
No, I mean, if she got cured and then went into Poison Joke again, would she still become a bat? Because it almost seems like...
And Malphite was saying, like, would it do something to her if she went into it again, and it no longer is an ironic thing that she turned into a bat because she likes bats?
Or would Poison Joke just constantly be picking something to fuck with you?
Ugh. Well, technically that's semantics about Poison Joke that we don't have the answers to.
Nobody does!
That's too bad.
Yes.
Because I love Poison Joke.
So...
Overall, she seems like an okay backstory. I do like how the Poison Joke was implemented, but it seems like it might fall flat in the long run, kind of thing. And getting a Cutie Mark through a destiny of irony seems twisted to me.
While twisted, that does... I mean, the whole pony universe, as I've mentioned, has that sort of predeterministic vibe to it, so... I think it's really interesting that's what led to her getting her Cutie Mark, and it's now ingrained into her and her character. Not sure how much I personally like it in this case, but I definitely think it's an interesting concept that I've not really seen done before, for sure.
Though this character was originally adapted from a Pony Creator game, the General Zoe or whatever, it was adapted through other means, and they did more things with it. And I think it works in a way. I don't necessarily dig on the whole weird diamond pattern that's on her forehead. Hooves. I think if you actually move the dreads forward a little bit on the actual head, it'd be a little bit better. But as for, like, colors, I'm kind of okay with the colors. I like it.
I feel like if there's any part I have any problem with, aside from the little diamond things, but that's not that big a deal. Just really quickly I just noticed this. The back legs are shaded, but the triangle things aren't. So if you do keep those, I'd recommend making them a little bit darker or something, because it looks a bit weird. Yeah, it looks a bit weird, but that's beside the point. That wasn't what I was trying to say. I'm just not sure how I feel about the mane and tail, really, because, like, I like the way those colors work together, and I think that the gradient, honestly, even looks fine between them. I don't know how I feel about the gradient for the mane, but it's like, But I definitely don't like the fact that it's totally different style between the two, and the fact that it's just this little, like, this, like, small, skimpy little tail, and then this, like, a crazy amount of dreads for the mane. I don't have a problem with the dreads. I I think it would look better if maybe the whole pony was like that, or
something. You don't see a lot of dreads on ponies these days.
Did we talk about the like aesthetics of the Cutie Mark?
No, we didn't.
We haven't talked about the Cutie Mark in the slightest.
What exactly did she do to get her Cutie Mark, other than
she
likes bats?
Now likes bats, and now she likes being a bat.
Now, is that symbol something actually to do with that? Because I wouldn't get, I like bats, which I don't understand exactly how that'd be a Cutie Mark. But I don't know. I don't really get that feeling from it. And I also think it's a little bit complex, but maybe it's just me.
Maybe it's the kind of situation like Fluttershy had in About Bats or whatever, that the Cutie Mark changed, or her Cutie Mark changed to something else while she's affected by the poison joke.
Those are two completely different things, though.
Well, but it's still a thing that happens.
Poison never changed Cutie Marks before.
That we know of. That we know of. It could be a thing. But still.
It seems like it's going a little deep just to freaking change.
Justify.
To change, like, what your destiny looks like.
Yeah. I don't know. That seems a little weird.
It just seems... The whole Cutie Mark thing seems odd with all of this to me, and it makes me feel uneasy.
Just, it seems a little bit contrived, like you worked your way to get the OC, and maybe, I don't know. I like it, but it needs a little bit more work.